We made it to the South Island! Hey! After 3 weeks of travelling. The bad news is we lost a bunch of footage. My computer had a meltdown and I had to rebuild it, so we lost footage from the ferry crossing and also our first day here in Picton.
Bronson had a video fully edited, ready to be released the next morning, and it's gone.
Yep. So, these things happen.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up from our second day in Picton. Basically we're heading from Picton to Blenheim to somewhere in the middle to a place called Tapawera for a event called Music in the Mountains. So travelling over the next week,
Yep.
hopping from spot to spot with this kind of goal of getting to this event. So yeah, we'll pick up where we left off just outside of Picton in the South Island finally.
Yeah.
So this is home for the next few nights. We're just outside of Picton. It came about 10 minutes down the road. This is a charge as apply property, which we're going to use loads this year, but basically someone's property. They live right up the back in that house. They got this paddock, huge big paddock behind me, beautiful big totara trees here, and you pay $5 a night. Honesty box here on the fence, and yeah, stay maximum of 3 nights here, but pretty ideal for the ferry because we got in late last night. Well, late for us, right? 5:30, and you don't want to drive an hour to Nelson or hour and a half or whatever. You just want to kind of go somewhere down the road, set up. And the same when you're leaving. If you're ever leaving on, say, the early morning Picton ferry, this would be ideal to stay here. So pretty good. $5 a night, can't complain. There's quite a cool book exchange here in an old refrigerator. So heaps of books, people dropping off, you know, old ones, picking up new ones in an old fridge here. Pretty neat.
Morning guys, we are here at Koromiko, just outside of Picton. We've been staying in a cap for a couple of nights here, and this morning Bronson's working from the car, so the kids and I are up and about eating breakfast nice and early. We are going to do some baking this morning and make some banana bread, aren't we?
And also a cheesecake.
And also a cheesecake apparently. We're not making a cheesecake. And then we might go for a walk, so we'll see how today goes.
Exactly.
So just down the road from where we are staying, there is a little walk that we can go to. So that is my mission today with the kids, tire them out. There is the Koromiko Forest Reserve here. So we're going to go have a look. So lately Harvey's been doing jobs around Rosie for us, and if he does all his jobs in a day, things like sweeping the caravan out and taking the recycling to the bins and stuff like that, if he does his jobs in a day he gets $1 and it goes towards his savings, which he can use to spend on whatever he likes. So at the moment he's been saving up to buy bakugan, which are little plastic balls, and if you throw them at the floor or the wall or whatever, then they pop out into like a dragon or whatever, a dinosaur, I don't know. And he really wants a bakugan, so he has $8 saved up, and we're aiming to get about 18 before we go to the shops and get one. He has decided today that he is going to do all the jobs and save the rest of the money so that he can get a bakugan today. Not really how it works. We don't have enough stuff to give you like $10 worth of work in a day. But he's a bit upset about it, so we're gonna see how we get on today. There's lots of tears. Just one of those days today.
Alright, we're changing locations this afternoon. We are driving about 20-30 minutes down the road to Blenheim. Staying at the racecourse down there, so we will catch up with you soon. Cool, so the next spot we're staying for the next probably 2 nights is the Waterley Racecourse in Blenheim. Similar, if you saw in an earlier video, we stayed in Solway at the A&P showgrounds there in Masterton. Kind of similar vibe, like just pay to stay. They don't race horses here all that often, like looks like only a few times a year. They're out practicing today actually. And the rest of the time you can just come up, park under the trees. It's stinking hot here, eh? So we're parked under the trees and it's like just a warm breeze, which we're not used to here in New Zealand. Normally wind in New Zealand means cold, right? But we've got this warm breeze. It's 28 degrees Celsius here in the caravan currently. There's a whole lot of parking that's not in the shade, where everyone seems to be, and then all of us kind of under the trees, the rest of us. I can't imagine what it's like out in the sun, but we're going to stay here for the next few days, right under some big oak trees, so it'll be interesting to see how the solar goes over the next few days. I only need a little bit of power for work, so it's not the end of the world, but I'd much rather be in the shade and have a little bit less power than out in the sun and have these kids running around baking. So yeah, we'll hang out here, get some dinner going, and I think Charter's going to go and explore tomorrow. Alright, new day, new location. We'll explain that later on, but we've come up to the Nelson Lakes, staying in Kerr Bay. It's about 37 degrees here at the moment. It's absolutely roasting. Well, the high today was 37. For you American viewers, roughly 98 Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot for us here in New Zealand. Our sun here is terrible as well. We got that whole ozone hole that means it's very burny, the sun here. So we're going to go to the lake. There's a lake right next door to this campground we're staying at. I'll show you the campground later on. This is pretty much it, but I'll show you later on. We're going to go for a dip because we need to cool down. How magic is this place?
It's pretty stunning.
That lake was just like, it's incredible. We're up quite high and there's kind of alpine forest around us and mountains. Like there's a ski slope just down the road and you can clearly see up on the hills where there's snow, and then there's kind of cool alpine bush, which, you know, obviously can withstand the cold, but what an incredible lake. So we're camping just there, lake right there. But how many nights are we staying, Chelsea?
1.
Just 1. We've got to get up to music in the mountains this weekend, which I'll tell you more about in a sec. But this is like a hop on the way to get to music in the mountains, but it's definitely going to be on some sort of list for some other time.
we can't use our dock pass, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
But, it's about $40 a night.
Yeah, as far as dock campgrounds go, $40 a night, pretty expensive. You know, we've averaged like $3 to $6 per adult per night, and this is $20 per adult. But we kind of figure that we'll pay sometimes, just for these real beautiful places that there's no other option of camping here. You can camp right by the lake. Like, let's stay here a couple nights, treat ourselves. So yeah. All right, we're gonna get some dinner. Who's hungry? So this is the Kerr Bay campsite, kind of quite small, a few sites over here with power actually, which is interesting for a dock site, and then a bunch of caravan and tenting sites here. So our plan's kind of changed a little bit. We were going to head from Picton up into the Sounds, the Marlborough Sounds, and then we saw that there's an event on run by the NZMCA, the Motor Caravan Association, called Music in the Mountains. It's this weekend and it's a big gathering of a whole lot of motorhomes, a whole lot of people get together, country music, don't know a lot about it to be honest, but it looks pretty cool. It's a pretty popular event and that is in a place called Tapawera, which is kind of southwest from Nelson. So instead of going up into the Sounds, we're kind of coming down through the middle, and man, look at that mosquito on the lens. There's mosquitoes everywhere here. So yeah, instead of going up into the Sounds, we're going to come down. We're kind of making our way across, so we went to Blenheim for a few nights, the race course there that you saw, here to the Nelson Lakes for another night, and then we go to Tapawera tomorrow. Just trying to make small hops along the way for the kids, right? Because we don't want to drive 2.5 hours with kids in the car. Well, they'll drive us crazy. So we're making hops along there. We're going to go to Music in the Mountains this weekend, then we're going to cruise back up to Nelson and then go up into the Sounds and disappear into the Sounds for a few weeks. So still trying to nail those plans down. There's heaps of places in the Sounds you can go, down long gravel roads, some of them like 2.5 hours long, to get into these cool remote locations. But we're going to hit up the Sounds and yeah, spend a few weeks there. So yeah, probably catch up with you in the morning. I'm gonna work from here in the morning. Chelsea hang out with the kids, and then we will cruise over to Music in the Mountains and show you what that's all about. Just as we were wandering around, then I realised that the top fridge vent is missing off our fridge, and it looks like the clip is broken. So we drove an hour and a half today. I have no idea where that's gone, and I'm surprised I didn't notice earlier, to be honest. Might have to retrace my steps, I think, see if I can find it, because that's going to be a pain if it rains. But it's probably not going to rain in the next few nights, but yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
Look what we found.
Yeah, we found our fridge vent. So literally last night, Chelsea and I threw the kids in the car about 7 o'clock, put their pajamas on. We drove an hour down the road, and we saw this sitting on the side of the road. But what occurred to us as we were driving, by the way, this has been severely run over. It's very broken and flimsy. Because our fridge vent's on the driver's side, this would have fallen off into the middle of the road, and it got run over a few times. So we're pretty proud of ourselves. We did a 2-hour round trip to find this, and kind of lucky because it rained last night. So we would have had a big hole in the side of the caravan. Wouldn't have been ideal. So I hammered this in place with my fist. Took my frustration out on it, and it sticks in place. We obviously can't drive with it, but yeah, it kept the rain out last night. Thankfully, the people down at Jayco Canterbury, the Christchurch Jayco dealership, Lee there, came to the rescue real quick. He's got one of these in stock. He's chucked it in the mail for me, and we're going to pick it up at a campground we're going to in just under a week's time. So there'll be a new one waiting for us. So, whew, what a mission to find this. I was kind of being a bit stubborn and wanted to find it. Fix this back up?
Yeah.
It's wrecked. What do we fix it with?
Tape.
Tape. Fix it with tape. So yeah, we've ordered another one. Lee from Jayco also pointed out that what a lot of people do is just pop a few screws in them, right? Screws in the corners, or a couple of screws on each side, because you don't need to get into it that often. So, you know, buy some screws with white heads so they're not too noticeable, and screw them in. So we'll get the new vent when we're in Nelson in a week's time, and I'm going to screw it in. So thanks to the guys at Jayco for getting one on the courier so fast. Really appreciate it. Alright, we're going to leave the video there. Thank you as always for watching. Bit of travel in this video, basically to make our way to an event called Music in the Mountains, which are basically a whole lot of camper vans, NZMCA event, music, parking in the mountains. So we're heading towards that. From there we're going to go over to Nelson, get a bit of mail delivered, stay in a campground for a few days probably, get that fridge vent delivered, some mail from home, and then we're going to head into the Marlborough Sounds, Queen Charlotte Sounds as well. Queen Charlotte? Queen Elizabeth? Queen Charlotte, can't remember. Beautiful destinations on the way in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for those. Sorry about that lost footage as well. Stupid computer. It would have been nice to show you what the ferry was like with us, but we'll show you on the way back home later on this year, I guess. Thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video.